Some of you missed.
I didn't miss.
You clapping awful.
F Plus Podcast, A Terrible Place. There's terrible things. They're read with enthusiasm. In the room tonight, we have Portax.
I'm gonna cut off your head and jerk off to your neck.
Victor Laszlo.
The first time I saw drawing amputee in 14 years when I got a internet.
Isfahan.
In Yahoo community, perhaps. I do not remember exactly. Then began to draw, but of older works, nothing left.
Frank West.
My name is Emissary for Penguins, and I have one question. Is this a fetish?
Oh, yay, it's Zarla again!
Look, funny, an SWB is nothing compared to the limbless, headless flesh orbs that my stories end in.
And Lemon. More than none ass, I like the idea of them melting together. Would you ever consider foot to mouth or mouth to foot fusing? And J Mermaid K replies, not really. I think that's kind of gross.
Gotta draw a line.
We have standards here.
Sorry I asked. I guess I really put my foot in my mouth.
Is that good enough? I think so.
Hey, F+.
Hi, Lemon.
Hi, Lemon.
Hey, some of you, but less so others of you.
Hi, Lemon.
Oh, hi, Victor.
Good.
Good. I'm glad the ropes and binds are still working. Hey, are all of you feeling like complete? Just as humans, just feeling like complete humans?
Well, I don't want to go out on a limb here, but I think I've got it pretty much together.
I would say 75% human.
Okay, what could get you that other 25% there?
Filler, some rocks, a piece of broccoli, maybe a shirt.
All right. Well, unrelated to any of that preamble, because it didn't go anywhere, we're going to be looking. We're going to be looking at a site by the name of DeviantArt. We've been to DeviantArt before. It's obviously
What's
a wonderful,
it about?
Well, it's about art for deviants.
That's just the name, Lemon. There's no deviant art on there.
No, there certainly isn't. I definitely don't get mostly porn when I go to the homepage of DeviantArt. That certainly isn't most of what I see. But yeah, so we're going to be going to DeviantArt, but we're going to be going on a specific little journey here. This is a document given to us a while ago here. Definitely a while ago, by Positronic. But this is a document about amputee fetish. So this is amputee fetishists on DeviantArt. So people for whom, the removal of various limbs is obviously very sexy. And so maybe when I say that to you, that there's going to be a reading about amputee fetish fiction, you're probably thinking it's going to start somewhere. Do you know that that's going to start with AU sci-fi?
Oh, does it now?
Because it fucking is. So Isfahan, can you please tell me about the Amputee solar system?
Yeah!
Oh my gosh,
yeah!
This is like the
Well done.
this is like the amputee fetishist book of Genesis here.
Yeah. Yeah, you jumped on a car that was already redlining.
Where no severed arm has gone before.
Gather round, and let me tell you about the Amputee solar system. My name is Black Rhino Ranger. As stated, the name of the solar system is Amputee. Here's the description. Amputee was once a lifeless planet, with breathable oxygen, yet no trees. How did the oxygen get there? Fuck you.
They imported it.
The lifeless bit changed in 2555 when Rhino's great-grandfather traveled to that solar system and created new human life. However, this solar system holds lives with missing parts of the body.
But why? Was he
Fuck
just not
you.
good at it? It's not an exact science. It's like we missed a finger.
When people called your grandfather dickless, they were just insulting him.
Well, it
Well,
is
funny you should mention that.
It is DeviantArt. Maybe he forgot how to draw the other eye.
Everyone on that planet is female, due to Rhino's great-grandfather being so obsessed with making more girls.
Phonetically works. That's a phonetically works, that word.
O-B-S-E-S-T. Obsessed.
Obsessed.
Lucky, the machine allows each being to live indefinitely and never look lulled, even when aged, so that way there is no point of having babies.
What machine?
The machine that makes the machine that makes girls.
The amputee baby woman machine.
Yeah, it just makes girls without other limbs.
We could have it here, but people keep raging against it.
It's
I don't understand.
basically a new character that he introduced mid-sentence. Like, you can't...
I hope it's like
Well, it also doesn't explain how he created new human life.
I hope it looks like the Dr. Seuss Star
with
On,
the
Star Off
machine that
machine.
appears to be named Lucky.
It's sci-fi. You can introduce anything you want whenever. That's how sci-fi works.
I'm getting the impression this guy just really, really, really wants to get to the actual fetish stuff here.
But why? I don't... What am I... Huh? No. What fetish?
Once, they were all blank planets with darkness. Now they all resemble a lot like Earth, with beaches, cities, jungles, and other things.
But mostly women I wanna fuck.
Wait, I thought this was a planet. Now it's planets.
Once
It's
they
a
were
solar
all
system.
blank planets. Rhino's great-grandpa even got clothing DNA for the people to try out without going nude.
Clothing DNA?
What do you think clothing is, my dude?
Well, he knew
Well-
that everybody had jeans, and he just completely misinterpreted it.
Like the actual pants. Jeans.
Yeah.
Cotton is a plant, so...
Yeah. And DNA is made of strands, and that's pretty much what thread is.
Half man, half raincoat. All pervert.
Here are its planets. Armella. Rhino's great-grandfather first got life on the planet of Armella. He manages to get some human DNA and creates a new type of human being. However, there was a side effect that made that human have no arms. When Rhino's great-grandfather got annoyed and to think he failed, it was actually a success.
Ah, yeah.
He actually made a new being come to life despite having no arms. And he has enough DNA and body samples to make 1 million humans.
I forgot to bring the arm DNA.
Not a single set of arms in there? Not even one?
Not even one. So maybe on one side of the planet, it's just naked women with no arms. On the other side of the planet, it's just all the surplus arms.
Yeah, it's just
a
piles
big
of
fucking
arms.
pile.
Big arm
So
wheel.
exactly how much sperm did Great Grampy bring to this planet?
He has enough DNA to make 1 million humans, so...
So like a teaspoon?
The planet of Armella's locals are all armless, yet are based on human designs. When he made the 1 millionth female, she not only was born with no arms, but she also has the ability to levitate objects without using her toes. That's Amy!
Congratulations to our 1 millionth female!
Ding, 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 yeah!
And
Normally
levitating
you use
objects,
your
you know,
toes.
that's fine, but levitating objects without using your
Normally
toes?
you use your
Holy crap.
toes, Victor. Look, Mom,
Rhino
no
and Dial
arms.
once
Or toes.
came to this planet for a 3-month vacation. They got so addicted to them and thought their armlessness could use a bit of help from 2 pairs of arms from 2 visitors.
Oh, I get
Hey,
it.
you know what you guys need? Arms.
Let me give you a hand.
I saw the arms and were like, Dad to the armed ones!
It's the DeviantArt parody of the monorail episode.
They say the people there never get stressed or annoyed. Even if they did, rubbing their shoulder ends will calm them down. Ew. It's not... Okay. So while they don't even have, like, upper arms... Okay. They don't know the meaning of cold, hot, fear, or even anger if they never came to Earth for a visit.
They're not even really human, which is something I really like.
There's also the planet Legree. Rhino's grandpa also managed to do the same with legged people on a planet which is much closer to the Armella planet. He was going to do the boyed, but he decided all life will do with girls.
They should team up and help each other then.
And then there's Oh,
I wonder what that one's like.
it's a headless planet.
Oh.
Even one has a head detached from their bodies. Their weakness is, if they put their heads on their neck joints, they will get paralyzed, and in 20 seconds they will die.
So they're headless women, and if you give them a head, it will kill them?
Yeah, it's a planet of headless women, and their weakness is they don't have heads.
Well, no, if you put heads on their neck stumps, they will die. So it's like the opposite
No,
of
they have
beheading.
heads. They're just not attached.
They have, their heads are detached.
Oh, there's like a Dullahan? Is that what's going on here?
It's like they carry him around like Futurama, like in the jars.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Volleyball team.
And there's,
It's real good.
Then there's Mouth Muff. That's the mouthless planet.
Oh, so not the planet where they have vaginas for mouths.
Yeah, this is the mouth.
Well,
Not only do the people there
Stop
have
reading
no
ahead,
mouth,
Livin.
but they have no stomach as well. I wonder if they ever have to scream. Luckily, this doesn't weaken their immune system, as the machine allows them to not eat at all. They don't speak, but they like to get along with each other using sign language. Kind of like Phil from Madagascar.
Yay! Your culture references are great.
Because I don't think you know what sign language is. There's I, which
I wonder
is
what that one's like.
It's the eyeless planet.
Why did he name them after what they don't have? I don't...
Yeah,
Because he is a
despite that-
cruel god.
that's why our planet is called Humans with Wings Utopia.
Yes. Despite that, the people there are not blind at all. Instead, they can see perfected in an unknown place of themselves. Outside visitors believed they can smell, hear, taste, and touch to fin their ways. It turns out it was more than that. Now on to Earmox.
Oh, I wonder what that one's like.
Well, let me tell you, it's an earless planet. Despite that, they can hear perfectly fine. Their only difficulty is that they can't understand other languages but English.
So it's America.
American.
Yeah. They are not immune to sonic effects, however.
Cool.
They can still get indigestion from those chili dogs. Nosely. Frank
That
West.
one's like.
Thank you.
The toeless.
Thank you for asking. It's the noseless planet.
Oh.
People there do not understand the meaning of smell, so they breathe through their ears.
Is that how that works?
Yep.
Victor?
They are even immune to super strong smells like stinky skunks.
Oh, well, skunk spray me now is not going to like that very much.
So Black Rhino Ranger, you've done a lot here on DeviantArt.
Yeah, I thought of this 2 years ago.
Yeah, you're definitely a sort of a super user of DeviantArt. Lots of different drawings and posts. But are you part of any groups?
So some of the groups I'm a part of: devotees, less is more. Detached people, stop, pop, and roll is their motto. And then there's one that I'm very surprised to find myself a member of: armless lovers. And we're talking about armless girls here.
Oh, thank God. All right.
It's just an MS Paint picture of tits with the shoulder next to it, and then there's, I guess, stink lines, or maybe it's screaming.
Oh, it's the main character of Trespasser.
Like, no more arm.
So Frank West,
That's me.
that was really great hearing about that solar system, I guess, because it
Yeah, I
wasn't just
know,
a
we're all
planet.
horny.
It was really good, the Amputee solar system. I liked it. So now that we've got the setting and we're all horny, do you think? And we're gonna need to do some tags here. I think we're definitely gonna need to maybe skip around, do a little bit of tags. But will you tell me the sexy story called "Life as an Amputee"?
I will.
Oh, thank
This
you.
is just chapter 1, by the way.
Oh,
You'll
okay.
have to purchase the book to read the rest.
That's
of
fine.
The
That's fine. I'll subscribe to your Patreon.
This is
I'm
just
sure.
like the 10% preview on Amazon.
I've been tricked by that before. My name is Amputee. Love is good. Yeah. This one goes out to all of you who don't have arms.
Hey, your DeviantArt gallery is like I would expect.
Ooh, okay, going in.
I'm not.
Oh man, it's real special.
I'll miss you, honey, he said, holding my hand. I smiled. I'll miss you too. But you know, it's just for a few days. Are you sure you can take care of yourself? Yes, I can, he answered. I kissed him goodbye, then started to run to not miss the plane.
Oh, you're right on the tarmac.
Grabbing onto the wheel as it's pulling up into the airplane.
When I sat in my seat, I felt so bad. Even though just for a week I was going to be away from my husband. I hated that business trip. I put my earphone and opened up my iPod. Muse was playing.
Boo!
That's the thing Lemon finds gross.
In that pute voice, I felt asleep.
Fell asleep. That's what happens after you feel asleep.
Uh-oh, the plane has started to move.
Yeah.
When I tried to open my eyes, I realized I couldn't do it very well. There was a nurse next to me. She said, "Doctor," she opened her eyes, looking at me.
Wow.
I heard
Wow. And then just there's quotation marks somewhere in there, too.
There's so much punctuation that I'm not sure
Yeah, it's just bonus.
where... And yet there's no spaces. I heard Doctor's voice. Put some medicine, then. She should better be asleep until the operation ends.
Victor.
That's good advice.
Put some medicine, stat.
Put some medicine.
Oh shit, the medicine.
People definitely better be asleep until the operation ends.
Otherwise, the noise is just fucking irritating.
I thought, what operation, just for a moment. Then I felt asleep again. When I completely opened my eyes, I felt so heavy. I was probably high because of medicine and I couldn't feel a thing in my entire body.
Don't do medicine, kids.
There was an oxygen mask in my mouth. All I could feel...
Chomp.
The oxygen mask is choking me.
Drop it, drop it. No.
Drop it. Drop it. Drop it.
What are you eating?
I'm pretty sure this is how this works.
All I feel was my face. When nurses saw that I opened my eyes, they came close to me.
Your eyes?
Can you breathe?
Nope.
And then this is also a quote. I tried to nod my head, but I couldn't. There was a neck collar. I okay it with my eyes, and then they put the mask out. It was hard to breathe.
Oh.
Feel free to tag, by the way. I will read this whole thing. What happened, I tried to ask, but my mouth was so dry that I realized I wouldn't be able to say it. I tried to say water instead. At first they couldn't get it. Then one of them says, "I think she wants water." They looked at each other. This is so captivating. They looked at each other. "Can she drink it?" Asterisk. One asked.
There's a footnote, I guess.
Will it blend?
There is no footnote, unfortunately. She lies. She cannot swallow it.
That was the Klingon nurse that said that.
She lies. She cannot swallow it.
She can swallow it. Give me a pipe, she said. Then started to make me drink with a pipe.
Like a tobacco pipe?
This is the most weirdly equipped hospital I've ever seen.
Then started to make me drink with a pipe. After a drunk and swallowed it all, I felt much better.
Swallowed the whole drunk.
Swallowed the whole drunk.
What happened to me? Oh, sorry. What happened to me? I asked with a very low voice.
Very low, yeah.
I knew there was an accent. That's the lowest I go, Lemon.
I know. I appreciate the effort.
I knew there was an accident in the plane, but I didn't care about it.
Somebody shit themselves in the plane. This is unrelated.
All I wanted to hear was my condition. I tried not to think the worst scenarios, such as paralysis. Nurses looked at each other again, couldn't say a thing.
Tag. Then Doctor came in.
Hello, Doctor.
I knew his face, so I was in my village after all. Doctor, what happened to me? Asked, trying to hold myself to not to cry. I cannot feel my body at all. Calm down, honey, he said. You had a plane accident. Don't you remember anything?
I woke up and I accidentally planed. Doctor, help me.
You had a plane makes it sound like she was flying the plane.
A minor plane accident. No, I answered. I was sleeping. All right, he said. Here's the condition, honey, he said. Am I paralyzed? Maybe that was me that said that. I don't know. I started to cry. You don't feel anything because of the morphine. You're not paralyzed. Then why did you use this much medicine on me, I asked.
Just like a big bottle of medicine and just rubbing it on her body.
4 liters, 5 liters, 6 liters.
Pouring Pepto-Bismol all over her face and eyes.
Chug, chug, chug.
Well, they forgot it at first, so then they're like, shit, just pour it on. Forget it.
We had to. You cannot bear that much pain. Honey, your body is badly crushed in the accident. Really badly. So, we had to amputate some limbs. Then just an errant quote, amputate, ? Yes, your legs were crushed. There was no choice. Legs! My legs! I won't be able to walk. My eyes were filled with tears again. Operation was successful. You won't die. We amputated them a little bit. Hi.
A little?
There are no stumps. So probably won't be able to walk. I sobbed. There was nothing I could do. I had lost my legs. Can I continue? He asked.
This is a great bedside manner right here.
Would you stop? God!
I'm describing how we amputated your limbs. Would you stop interrupting me?
No, it gets worse. But he didn't wait for an answer and continued.
What an asshole.
Yeah, so one of your arms was crushed too. At first we thought there was no need to amputate it, but injuries, well, we had to amputate it too.
I think this doctor's making shit up.
And your right arm was burned, so we amputated it too.
What the fuck? Is that how you solve burn?
He's just like holding a bone saw behind his back.
He just wanted to try it out. He was just couldn't wait.
Doctor, no, that one's just burned. Oh, but it looks so gross.
Yep.
I've got the scalpel right here.
I'm sorry, honey, but you know life goes on. What did I do? I thought. To receive that punishment, I must have done really terrible things, but I knew I didn't. I couldn't feel a thing, not in my body, not in my mind.
The woman hates herself, that makes it even better.
Flow of thought stopped in my mind.
They
I
amputated
want
her
to see my
thoughts.
body, I said.
Isn't it a jar on a
They
shelf?
stopped for a moment, then, if you want it so much, doctor said.
Legs and arms are just in a pile in the room.
One of the nurses put my neck collar, other one lifted the blanket on me. They put a huge mirror at the end of my bed. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and then looked at my crushed body. There was no limbs, no legs, no arms. I looked like a bug. And there was a cast on my body. What's this cast for? I asked. They transferred you here, and dosters in the accident place thought that some of the ribs are broken.
The
Accident place.
Yeah, so let me repeat that one more time, because I need you to understand your prognosis here. And dosters in the accident place thought that some of the ribs are broken.
Sure.
I don't think I trust this.
I wanted to amputate the ribs too, but they physically restrained me at that point.
But they're okay. We're going to take it off soon. How many days passed since the accident? I asked. I was very calm, just like talking about another person's accident and another person's life. It had been 2 weeks, I think. He said, you know, I'm a little busy. I'll come back, okay? Doctor said, and then left the room.
Just revving a chainsaw. I got somebody else I need to see.
I just have a cold. That nose gotta go.
We should take the cast off, blonde nurse said.
On mine it says we should take the calf off.
You're
which
absolutely
is
right.
like,
It wasn't cast. It wasn't cast. You're absolutely right. She did not say we should take the cast off. She said we should take the calf off.
ouch.
No, I think it's a cat. Is it a catheter? I think is what they're talking about.
I would assume, but I don't know what off means. Then I looked in the mirror again.
I mean, they forgot the medicine. I don't think these people...
Yeah, this is a universe in which you put oxygen masks in people's mouths.
Yeah. Well, let me
So
explain.
maybe you just put catheters on people.
Well, I got it right now. So I looked at the mirror again because you want to know like all of the physiology, right?
Mm-hmm.
Solved right here. I looked at the mirror again. There was a little pipe in my pussy, I think.
Is it like
Oh,
blowing
dear.
smoke rings, or
I mean, without her arm, she's never going to be able to do a pussy pipe and handstand.
Oh! Nurse took off my pants. I was so embarrassed and took off the calf. Ouch! I said. It hurt. It was then that I started to feel my body. We put a calf in you because of the cast. It was hard to put you in diapers.
But it would have been great if we could.
Was that when they put off the casts, it will be better, she said, smiling. Put my pants back and put on the blanket again, remove the mirror. I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't. I tried to realize the situation. I was an amputee, and I had to live with that. I had some money, but not much. If I could back to my mother's house, I would be just trouble for her. And staying in the house with my husband was out of the option. I didn't want to ruin his life.
What?
It is important to consider the man in this situation.
Oh, there's nobody to take care of me. I'm not going to live with anybody.
Can I come in? When I heard his voice, I felt so bad. A few moments later, he was inside. He closed the door and walked next to me. His eyes looked terrible. His face was... I was like he aged 10 years in 2 weeks.
That is the sentence. Just everyone.
His face was... I was like he aged 10 years in 2 weeks. How are you feeling? He asked. I'm fine, I lied. He kissed me on the cheek and whisperek, everything's gonna be alright.
I mean, as long as you don't stay with me in my house or anything. That's gross.
I smiled with the tears in my eyes. I hope so, I thought. End of chapter.
It's like a lost episode of Westworld.
I like the first comment on here by Kevs.
What's the first comment?
The grammar needs a lot of work.
They got 4 chapters into this.
There's another one. There's a
Yeah, what's the other
person
one?
named Uber Chow says, work on your grammar more, just saying.
And then you got banned, and then I said, thank you, grammar Nazi. Dick.
Maybe, well, considering the way he writes, that might be legit. Like, thank you, grammar. Oh no, Nazi.
Alright, so this is one more story. It's much shorter, much shorter than the previous one. But Victor, this story is called Mirror. You think you can, yeah, you'll be my mirror. And why don't you take this, please?
All right. I am Black Speed K.
Cool. I'm going to look at your DeviantArt gallery. I'm sure.
I already see it on the side. Pencil drawings of fat dudes in tidy whities with no arms or legs.
Yeah, but like little,
All right.
like sort of lizard penises too.
Oh, are there?
Hey. I maneuvered my wheelchair so I was facing the mirror. A young man, about 20, looked back at me. He was very attractive, with long, straight hair, piercing gray eyes, and a mischievous, crooked smile.
It's the Grinch.
He sat comfortably in a high-tech power wheelchair, fitted with a chin control so he didn't have to use hands. He couldn't control it by hand if he wanted, because he didn't have hands.
That would do it.
He was naked, so the extent of the damage was plain to see. His arms, both of them, were totally gone, right up to his shoulders. They were lightly scarred, concave beneath the shoulder bone. Okay. The shoulder bone, yes, beneath the shoulder bone.
The bone that makes up the shoulder.
Yes. Looking further down past his well-toned abs, I could see he didn't have any legs either. Just like with his arms, his legs ended at his hips, or more correctly, didn't extend 1 inch from his thin, athletic torso. He was devastatingly handsome, and in good shape despite his disability. In the center of the base of his body, the space between where his legs used to be, was his cock.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I wonder why that part hasn't also been cut
That's where I would
off.
have guessed it was, too. It didn't migrate.
He wasn't from Count Cockula planet, or whatever it was called.
The planet of cockhavers.
It was thick, yet only semi-hard, laying flat on the seat of the wheelchair. As I watched, it slowly grew thicker, longer, and harder, raising up from the cushion until it stood upright. A drop of pre-cum leaked out, and it was clear he wasn't going to be able to take care of this on his own.
Favorite fluid.
Pre-cum.
Come on down to the
really
DeviantArt
is,
pre-cum warehouse.
What could have happened to him, still so young, that took his limbs? He smiled, fleetingly. I slowly turned my chair around. In the mirror, he turned with me.
He objectified himself in the story, I guess is.
Well, that was nice of him to do that.
Yeah. Convenient.
Back in the bedroom, my partner was still asleep. This was my first day back home again after the surgery, the hospital stay, and the rehab. He'd been working tirelessly on our house to make it as accessible for me as possible, so it didn't bother me that he was sleeping in. I couldn't thank him enough for the work he's done. When I woke up, I was able to get into my wheelchair on my own, since the bed level is the same as the seat on my chair. Still having trouble picturing it.
Like, did he roll?
Maybe he got good and bounced on the bed a couple times. And
Oh, yeah. A little
Oh,
momentum.
maybe.
That's all you need.
it took me forever. Having no stumps makes that sort of thing really difficult, but at least I can do it if I have to. Now that I'd had those moments alone with myself, I was ready for him to wake up. I moved my wheelchair right up to the edge of the bed and tediously inched my butt forward, and my upper body slid slowly down until I was laying half on the bed and half on my chair. After that, it was just a matter of scooting across the bed. Difficult, but easier than the near impossible task of getting back into my chair. I cuddled up against him, glad to be back home, where things could finally go back to normal. Well, the new normal, now that I'm a quadruple amputee.
Yay!
The end.
My name's Gemini Boy 69. What inspired you to write this?
My dick!
Yeah, I was gonna say. You only have to answer if the answer isn't boners.
Is pre-cum an answer?
It's always an answer.
It's the answer.
So, Portax, I have one question. There's only 2 words in my question. I just have one question to ask you. Mm-hmm. And my question is, Amputechurch?
Amputechurch. My name is Gamera1985, and I have drawn a picture of anime nun women with ginormous gazongas, and that's really all they have to their
That's
person.
Yep.
They are lined up on a table that's highly reflective, and they're all some of them look a little confused. One of them looks very confident in herself.
Yeah.
Rest assured,
Some
they
of
are
them
only
are
the heads
bothered
and
by
the
just
tits.
being just tits and a head, but like some of them are pretty happy about it.
Yep. So that's cool. I think the boobs aren't copy pasted. They were lovingly rendered one by one. Anyway, Amputechurch. Thou shalt remove thy limbs, for they shall go to the immobile. Thou shalt not bear children, for they shall go to the best pairs. Thou shalt retain thy bosom, for it is the seat of thine heart, the stabilizer of thine body. Thou shalt retain thy heart and mind, for they are needed to worship, love, and pray. They pledged their vows to God and are now dedicating their life to prayers. They shall be helped by other sisters who haven't made their oath yet. Yet. It's gonna happen. They're part of an obscure religious order of enclosed nuns. who dedicate their life to prayers only. They are quite extreme in their oath, leading them to lose most of their bodies when they enter the order. For ages, it was famous for welcoming unwanted women from noble families to impede a division of the house lands. Such a crazy idea. I first started by drawing one of them, and then another, and I ended up with rows of them. Now I had to find an excuse to explain it, and I could only think about religious order.
It's like somebody's writing all this down on a clipboard while listening through like the slit in the door.
I love that this fucker needs to put lore behind his.
Yeah.
Why does this give me a boner? There must be a reason.
Kawaii
Notebooks.
Members of this community do seem to like putting lore behind their fetish.
Why are you drawing so many amputated nuns? Oh, there's a reason for that.
Better have an excuse for these nuns.
Well, sit right down. I'll tell you a tale.
My name is Daniel Luster81. I'm a professional digital artist. I do love the amputated girls in the picture over there. They must be amputated nuns. You know that I do have many fetishes, including feet, legs, amputees, fembots, SWBs, hemis, elastic women, and everything else of the like, and that makes me really interesting, and one cool dude. In addition, I also like Sally the Hand, along with her sister who is a foot, but I wish that you can draw them for me if you get a chance, though. By the way, my birthday is November 21st, and I
what
wish
do you want for your birthday?
Well, I'll tell you. I wish that you can be able to draw something really cool for my birthday, though. I'll be 32 years old this year. I very much so appreciate it, though. That was like a verbal tick for him.
It might have been, though.
And I said something in really small text. I do love feet.
I think you whispered that.
I do love feet. That's my whispering voice.
So Zarla, looking here at some of these other artists, here's one by the name of Asilion, and Asilion has a drawing of Unlucky Tori. Can you briefly describe what's going on in the drawing of Unlucky Tori?
Let me see. Do you want me to describe it on my own, or like is there?
Yeah. If you can just describe what's going on in this picture.
Take the people on the emotional journey that you're on right now.
Let's see. Well, first we have what looks like a couch that got stolen from Google Images and put through a filter.
Yeah, but exactly. Mosaic that shit, and now it's yours.
Yeah. There's an anime girl sitting on it, and I think she has some kind of form of headgear, dental headgear, and she has some kind of metal plating on her neck, on one side of her neck, that goes into her shirt. She's missing her left arm, and her right arm has a claw hand. And
that's pretty hot.
She's missing her left leg from the knee down, which has some kind of pink peg leg kind of thing looking on. I don't have to know if that's an actual prosthetic or not.
So like a bunch of stirrups and complicated. She looks uncomfortable, I guess. Is
a lot of colors.
The headline.
All these
the headline.
prosthetics don't match. They're all different.
But is she saying anything?
She's saying, "Please don't stare at me like that. I'm not a monster." She's also wearing a high heel. Just one.
Good. She's going out of the town.
That's important.
Guys, have you noticed that there might be this running theme of the girls being, like, unhappy and, like, dependent? Is anyone else noticing this? Am I the only one noticing this? I mean...
No, I think you're probably just reading into it. Look, it's just a bunch of, just a bunch of nuns that are just heads and tits. They're just sort of helpless, but that doesn't have anything to do. I don't think there's a larger theme there.
No, why would there be? Fetishists don't do that. They would never. I think she's got some kind of bag on her.
And then your description there?
Okay, let's see. Please meet a new character, Unlucky Tori, unlucky in quotation marks. This poor girl has really no luck. She was born with a limp leg and always had to wear her leg brace. Later, at school, she was diagnosticized scoliosis.
Oh, that's damaging. You hate to see that happen to somebody.
And received a Milwaukee brace. Because of the rigidity of the brace added to her leg brace, she stumbled under the school bus. That's how she lost her arm, hand, and foot. Ironically,
The school bus.
Yeah, just the school bus. Ironically, her life and her right leg were saved by the braces. And now, sometimes later, maybe because of the pressure of the Milwaukee, her dentist told she has deformed teeth and has to wear these heavy headgear for some time.
Okay. You've explained like a fifth of the shit that you've got in her body right now.
Yeah.
She's just unlucky.
Those quotation marks around unlucky are really sinister.
They are. I mean, like, since the character, he literally did it to her, but I feel like this was a person who'd still do that to people.
My name is Vulcan Knight, one of your most interesting characters. I like that this girl has many aspects who represent who is the different beauty. The headgear, amputations, hook, the limp leg, and all the braces. Just excellent.
And brandy.
He looks down at the snifter of brandy. He's just swirling it in his hand.
Another good day on DeviantArt.
Just excellent.
Just puts the picture in his portfolio.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, some of these pictures are just super bummers. You know what? Let's do another one from Exilian, because Exilian seems like a really fun and sane human being. Frank West. Frank West, this is Rehabilitation Program 5. You want to tell me a little bit about it?
Okay, so... Oh, boy.
Yeah.
How much time you got, Lemon?
Yeah. Two
Okay.
goth Lolitas with a bunch of metal shit all over them.
That's accurate.
Like, what if Final Fantasy characters didn't have access to the cure spell?
She has padlocks stick like.
It's a mouth chastity belt.
And there's
It is,
padlocks on her
though.
foot.
Someone cut her mouth off and they had to reattach.
Frank?
Isn't that hot?
It's so hot. Just like her mouth fell off and she just didn't have a hole anymore, like a Looney Tunes cartoon, so they had to attach it back on.
This is,
It spun around behind her head and she had to readjust it.
The third girl is late for the meeting. Please meet Danny. Danny mastered the art of spying people, following them during days without being seen, and using what she learned to blackmail those who have something to hide or to hustle the others. The rehabilitation program decided with only one leg to walk on and only one arm to grab a crutch, she wouldn't be able to continue her bad activities. But during the first months, she showed so little compliance with the program that her case was reviewed, and now she has to wear this heavy metal boot, really impairing and slowing her walk and this metal gag.
Rehabilitation is? Is that what that is?
Yes.
Just want to slow people down, make them more uncomfortable.
And it's like a metal boot that's also a high heel.
Yeah.
Is that prescription high heel?
Well, you wouldn't want a non-slutty metal boot.
Maybe
Nah,
they
come on,
ran
this
out
is
of
plenty.
stock and they were just like, the only thing we could find was the fetish shop down the street had like a spare metal boot.
You kidding me? You think this metal boot's gonna inconvenience her? My grandmother could walk in this boot. Raise the heel. Come on.
It's the planet of nothing but stripper heels.
And this metal gag, preventing her to talk in order to punish her and protect other people from her bad habits until she saw more cooperation.
This is creepy. This guy a creepy boy.
And then Zarla,
Sorry,
your
like,
name is...
there's this exchange in the comments and where somebody goes, if only she'd cooperate, and then the person goes, perhaps cooperation isn't in the itinerary.
2 p.m. cooperate.
and then Zarla, your name is Master Burkant.
You are excellent. Maybe you can begins the story about Danny's bad habit.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe you can.
And then a minute later, he replies to himself with, "It will be glorious."
If you don't include enough lore behind your fetish drawings, people prompt you to include more lore.
Oh, is
behind
this like a CinemaSins thing where it's like
That it will be glorious.
Yeah, in this scene, she's wearing this little amputee hook, but they didn't explain where it came from. Ding! Fetish porn sins.
Could you write a story about before when she lost her leg? No, why would I do that?
Yeah.
And then, so there's a bunch, there's more of these, this whole section is sort of like people posting their, lore-filled stories and then, other people commenting on them. There's a very long one, where, Jarek UK has an exchange about his particular porn and spends, I don't know, 5 pages
Oh dear.
explaining the backstory of his headless, armless woman, and that's fun. Obviously,
that is
very
a fun
fun.
thing.
We do have fun.
We have fun here, but we're gonna move on to this thing here, which is the. It's the devious journal entry. Just a little open discussion I think that we can have here to sort of learn a little bit about us. So my name is Mokina Amputada.
What a wonderful phrase.
And if you could become an amputee, what kind of amputee would you want to become?
Why is it capitalized?
And Victor, start that off with Downtown 21, please.
The Mocina amputada is the part of the brain that makes you attracted to the shit.
Well, I know how to fix it then.
No, the only way to fix it is to cut it out. Oh
That's what
god.
they want.
Yeah. Don't play their game.
And Victor, your name is Downtown 21.
I wish I could be completely limbless. No arms or legs at all, not even stumps. Ideally, not even shoulders or hips.
Yeah, you gotta want it bad enough, man.
And my response to that is, wow!
Wow, you're crazy.
Portex, does user 252520000...
I'm sorry, your response to that is, wow.
Oh, you're absolutely right. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Portex, your name is user 252520000, and do you have any opinions on what I just said here?
Interesting question. In my case, it's an attraction towards amputee women and not a desire that I've ever had for myself. Oh god, no, not me be helpless, no. But I do find the desire absolutely fascinating, in that the two have very much in common. The only real difference being it's something I'm attracted to in another person and something the other person desires for themselves. I've managed to fulfill this attraction perfectly in the person of my lovely wife, who's missing a leg and an arm near the hip and the shoulder on her left side, and she also finds the wannabe desire to be incredibly fascinating as well as complimentary in terms of someone wanting to be like her. She's also
Crap, that was some
fictional.
word salad.
I made that up, by the way.
She's
It's
definitely a
on-
real doll.
User 2525 has figured out that there is a correlation between amputee fetish and amputee fetish. There's a similarity there that he's noticed.
Crack kids.
My favorite attraction has always been the totally one-legged look, with a single leg disarticulated completely from the hip or an extremely high AK amputation? I'm so sorry, Isfahan. We're gonna have to take this from you. For me, it's a simple visual thing that I just love the look. The unique look of body symmetry is a wonderfully and uncommonly beautiful thing to me, and it seems like more of one leg that's missing, the more uniquely and exquisitely beautiful the remaining leg becomes. Cool. There's also certain erotic aspects to this.
You don't say.
Really?
Your fetish?
Yes, indeed. Which generally are more readily apparent to women than they are to men. Smiley
What?
face? Don't know what that means. In the case of my lovely wife, the extra lack of body symmetry contributed by the arm
The extra lack.
Yes, by the arm amputation complements this very nicely as well. I really hope I'm not the one chopping her limbs off. That would suck.
She's just a Barbie. She's popping the arms off.
Have also noticed through the years that the more attraction there is to the actual disability aspect of the amputations, the more the person typically wants to lose or is attracted to, respectively. Anyway, fascinating topic.
Yeah, fascinating topic. I was like, hey, what gives you guys boners, huh?
Is it amputations?
What are you guys into?
Want to get amputated? Here's 5 paragraphs about it.
Yeah. Well, anyway, to that I say, well, yes, many of my drawings represents my wishes somehow. And Portex, you have more.
Of course. Sounds wonderful and such beautiful representations of an interesting dream which no normal person will understand. Then the definition of a normal person is someone who is absolutely terrified of having to think and needs to be told what to think and do. Oh God, we're in the 1990s fetish essay here. So it's a very
You
good
laugh
thing
because
that we're
I'm different.
It really was just that old school style 90s fetish essay.
And then Frank West, you got a response there from Ya Geek, or maybe the Young Adult Geek.
It's your geek.
Hey, it's your geek. Smash that like, comment, subscribe.
Hey gamers, what's up? It's your geek here, checking out DeviantArt today. Here we go. If I had to choose between different variants of amputation, I would choose to be an OOE above knee amputee. A right hand and a left leg. Thank you very much for the donation, Amputee Sweet Lovers 85. Thank you so much. 3 months, amazing. But I praise Tay and the almighty genetical
lottery.
I didn't parse that word before I read it. The almighty genetical lottery that I don't have neither BIID nor GID. God, it would be so nice to be a female amputee, though.
And then my Mogwatina Amputada again. Sorry, did not understand what I meant.
Communication is hard on this in this fetish community.
They ironically are missing a lot of letters.
It's part of it.
They write it normally and then they go back and amputate all the letters out of it.
Yeah. Every backspace gives him a cum.
They're chopping stuff off.
I meant I would like to become an RAE, LAK, or LHD amputee.
Excellent, yeah. The limbless girl just says, quad sex slave!
One person responds with DHD and then stealth. What?
What is that?
A stealth amputee?
Yeah. Like a ninja amputee?
Ooh, that would be pretty cool, though.
Maybe it's like one of those things where if you wear pants over it, you can't tell that it's a false leg below the knee or something.
Yeah, maybe.
So, Victor, can you please tell me about the ultimate diet plan? This is also from user 252520000.
We're just gonna eat pre-cum.
Yeah, probably.
That is the ultimate diet.
Can't go wrong.
Cheetos and pre-cum. Until they make pre-cum flavored Cheetos.
Could we, though?
Someone's been dipping into my cookbook.
All right. Here's the ultimate diet plan. For everyone's information, my beautiful asymmetrical wife loves to eat. I do most of the cooking here, which is something I've always enjoyed, and the reward is the wonderful look of pleasure on her face when she's enjoying what I've made for her, and she's always bragging that she has her own personal chef. At home, she eats pretty much normally, but when I take her to a buffet in the city, she can literally eat 1/2 her own body volume in one sitting, not explode.
I don't believe you.
She's a gulper eel, though. You didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
Exactly
Okay,
how
fair
much
enough.
has
I'm
she been
sorry.
amputated, I guess, would be...
She's just hiding the extra food in her leg, in her fake leg.
Well, it's like, you eating like you got a hollow leg there.
We're talking 5 big heaping plates of food. It defies...
Okay, so her body weight is as much as 10 plates of food.
Well, she's had a lot amputated. It defies all explanation. She could do it for a circus act. People would pay money to watch.
Definitely
I know I
fetish.
did.
Imagine my wife in a circus act. In a freak show.
They can combine with the clown fetish this guy obviously also has.
Definitely don't do that.
I generally end up tipping the price of an extra meal because I feel guilty that she ate so much lol.
Jesus Christ.
Then we come home and she just burns off all the calories hopping around on her single leg in a couple of hours and always stays 90 pounds / 40 kilograms lol.
That's a lie.
It's a real woman.
No. The hopping. That's why all of the Taibo places recommend hopping.
When people ask her how she stays so thin and beautiful, she gets this mischievous grin on her face, laughs, and says, "Oh, that's so simple. Just amputate a leg."
That joke doesn't work.
Yeah.
The better setup would be, how do you lose weight so easily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not, how do you stay thin?
How do you stay at the same weight?
It's not a
Easy,
joke,
I got
it's
one
the
leg.
hopping around.
fuck?
Zarla, is it true that you're going for a really big combo?
Let me see. It could be.
I think it is. I think that you're going for a really big combo.
Do you want the extra information with this entry?
I
Or-
want the
Of course
extra
I do.
information.
Yes, please.
All right. I'm listening to OSTs, anime music, rock, pop, J-pop, and electro. I'm reading Naruto Shippuden manga. I'm watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Zexal and Naruto Shippuden. I'm playing
Simultaneously.
Toho, Pokemon Platinum, Digimon World DS. I'm eating snacks at 100%. Yeah!
Max snacks.
Snacks. And drinking water in great amounts lately. So, hello to everyone. The main reason because I became so late for upload artworks is because some months ago I gained a job. Yeah, in that friggin' contact center job. And that job is squeezing great part of my free time. Sob. But the good thing is that I'm doing a very big combo of new characters during all those months. There are 100 new characters is not a joke. It's 100 characters.
This truly is ultimate.
Some new fusions and evolutions.
Everyone's here.
Everyone's here. And a lot of strange ideas.
Not all of
Bring
them
him
are-
in, boys.
Not all of everyone, but a lot of strange ideas. For example, a pod girl, a living organs girl, a quad amputee girl reconstructed with a very strange new body, some amputee conjoined twins, a girl with a very deformed face, and some paraplegic and quadriplegic characters. That's spelled properly, I notice. And of course, the traditional amputee characters. Coming soon in your neighborhood. Wow, 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 wow.
And then, so Vulcan Knight there did exactly as he promised, which was to draw a whole bunch of really, really awful amputee drawings, and not ever get better as an artist. To just draw nothing but female bodies and never figure out how an arm works.
Well, if you're drawing amputees, you don't have to figure out how the
Yeah,
arm
the
works.
less practice you get drawing.
DeviantArt has a system where if it detects that you've gotten better at drawing, you get banned.
Oh, okay.
You graduate from DeviantArt.
You're not welcome here anymore.
I want you to take this shit to Tumblr. Mr. Big Shot.
Coming down to the end here, but I think Isfahan, I'll let you choose here.
Oh, God.
So they're all really good. So here's an option. This is a question. It's a question titled "A Double Question to the Artists." It's a conversation there, and the other thread is called "Making Her Mouthless."
Oh no.
That's tough.
It sure is. Yep.
Like double questions, like 2 for the price of 1, but making her mouthless. Like I feel like there's going to be some existential questions in there. So
yeah, so making her mouthless is a just an absolutely bullshit piece of art. It's just this real boring dumb art with 3 or 4 seconds of the Photoshop blur effect.
It's just a picture of 2 girls from a porno, and they just smudged out the mouth.
Yeah, this is Babby's first healing brush Photoshop job here.
Yep.
So yeah, there's it's a photo. There's 2 women. The woman in the front is nude, and probably the woman in the back. The woman in the back is reaching underneath the woman in the front's arms and obscuring her breasts like Janet Jackson style. And the woman in the front has, for some reason, the whites of her eyes have been brightened extremely, and her mouth is gone. It's been photoshopped out with the healing brush tool in Photoshop.
Oh, it's so that they could paste in new irises so she looks surprised.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, but she also kind of has a lazy eye on that side.
It does.
The sultry, seductive look that she originally had probably isn't going to work for this. So, yeah, they photoshopped her completely new eyes.
Can someone make an account where all they do is add the mouths back in, but it's like a Clutch Cargo type thing, where it's like, she's missing her mouth, I fixed it.
Do you think I guess there probably is a lot of mouthless photos on DeviantArt.
Search for it, see how many results you get.
Well, I mean, this guy's gallery, presumably. But anyway, tell me a little bit about your art here.
Like there's sparkles on it, too.
Yeah. Blingy.
My name is String Change, and this piece is called Making Her Mouthless. Now, oh dear. Rebecca had frozen Mindy and was in the process of initiating her ruin. The black market agent Pink leaked into the room. Mindy's eyes grew in panic as she tried to look down and see what was happening. Her mouth had sealed up. She felt a little bit of fortune in that it was still a mouth when it sealed. What? The rest of her was sealing as well. Her hands had grown together to her privates. Her nose would be closed in seconds. And then she would die because she would be able to breathe.
Actually, so to that point, my name is PC Zelda. I'm a digital artist. String Chase, I have a question for you. So she's going to die. She won't even be able to breathe?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, she won't die, since she's a shapeshifter and she's basically immortal. I could have sworn I included that in the original description.
Oh, don't worry. There's plenty of description in this comic.
Oh my god.
Lamps won't die. Headless quads reduced to nothing but ass. They are what they are, no matter the shape.
To not but ass.
To not but ass. They are what they are, no matter the shape. But the shape can become a prison, and that's how the ladies of tomorrow roll. Big on blaming others and locking people up. I'm still working on explaining all this, this being my issues, but here's the gist.
He's talking to his therapist.
Yes. It's discovered women have 2 brains. One in their head and one in their ass.
Am I right, guys?
Oh.
High five.
Women are always thinking with their ass.
Outdated concepts of dinosaurs. Also women.
If these 2 brains are allowed to align, their body undergoes a permanent shift. It becomes like Mystic or Mr. Fantastic, really. It's now made of totally of particles that can change shape. So,
thank you, because every time I try to explain that to Portak, she says I'm an idiot.
Yes. Well, you didn't use the right accent.
Okay.
Yeah, that would have got me.
Had nobody taken an x-ray of a lady's ass before? They just hadn't...
You do that, you can't have any more kids. These guys are also really big on infertility for some reason. It's kind of weird. So, you aren't exactly human. You no longer eat or shit. So it's great, but there are issues.
Yeah,
One is men's semen is the fuel that can give the best result for transformation. Oh, good. There's a lot of bad side effects on how it became legal to become a shapeshifter. But if there's a man around, they could hook up and get fixed. That didn't last long, though. God, I'm crazy. Before long, no more babies were being born and the party was over.
This is just this is just text-to-speech.
I've sort of noticed every time you reach for this specific voice, your guy ends up being a fucking nut.
Yeah. Competition became stringent, and they were on the same path as we are now. Fewer and fewer resources and bigger problems. So there are two groups. The Johnson family is the good guys. This is a concept I borrowed from William S. Burroughs.
What?
I'm one of those people where I'm morally better than William S. Burroughs.
No. A Johnson honors his obligations, his word is good, and he is a good man to do business with. A Johnson minds his own business.
Not this one.
He is not a snoopy, self-righteous, troublemaking person. A Johnson will give help when help is needed. He will not stand by while someone is drowning or trapped under a burning car. So the other side is the shits, again from Burroughs.
Yeah.
The mark of a basic shit is that he has to be right. If the right to mind one's own business is recognized, the whole shit disposition is untenable, and hell hath no vociferous fury that an endangered parasite. Keep in mind, I'm talking about describing my fetish.
Yeah, this is still about mouthless
Photoshop.
woman picture.
Yeah.
Fetish mouthless woman picture. So the shits are causing the problems, leaning on everyone with a boot we can't quite see. Oh, your bimbo acting up again? Too bad. Being a bimbo is illegal. That kind of shit. With the men gone, it's a disaster.
Is this guy complaining about the state of society in his fictional world?
You tell me. I don't know.
I can't track this at all.
I'm really trying to figure it out.
I have reached the sandwich board stage of my my image description, so buckle up.
Nobody takes my pamphlets.
And it's going to keep them from exploring space.
What?
Societies built on celebrating
mouthless one?
shitheads cannot explore space,
It's against the law.
so they will rot and strangle themselves unless something intervenes. Luckily, the Johnson family has agents all over. Since they are not wound round and round in being shitheads, they can think and learn and pass things down more than half a generation. Our multiverse and the string change universe will be able to correspond, and ideally we'll be able to help. We'll be able to help undo some side effects for select Johnsons we find
your
over
own
there. Good
website.
women who
Well,
don't
I'm
deserve
going over
to be
there for a
shrunk and
minute.
jailed and ruined. Using us as a secret backup plan, we'll be able to dial the Johnsons to turn their whole way of life around and to help put down the shit virus so that they can explore space. And explore space they will. For 100,000 years they expand and prosper as the shit virus lays dormant. It flares back up in a huge blast of fresh depth and superstitions.
Yeah.
But again, the Johnson family knew the shit virus wasn't dead yet, so far in the future the final battle is yet to be won. Or something like that. I'm chomping at the bit. So to start filming something.
Wait, what?
Keep it simple, like a shrink or a bimbo. But that's the basic theory. It's kind of why nothing makes sense. We're looking at a very long timeline and I'm jumping all around.
Oh, is that why nothing makes sense?
Perhaps to my detriment, but that's the only way I can come up with something to write for these things. Outline. 1. Shape-shifting discovered. 2. No more men. 3. Johnson family beats the shits in 2030. 4. The shit virus returns 100,000 years later. Deep space exploration and the success had been found, etc. From there you could go literally anywhere.
Oh my God,
you did,
you have a
so
website.
I believe it.
www.stringchange.com.
And you know how
Yeah,
this person is crazy
unfortunately.
because they replied to this post by themselves twice. Oh, hidden by
No, they
commenter.
replied to something else that that they decided to hide.
The person in the conversation had to hide their comment.
Oh, I see it now, yeah. Hidden by commenter.
Which is the DeviantArt way of saying, never mind. I'm
Yeah,
gonna...
that's the DeviantArt way of, like, backing away slowly.
Closing the door behind you.
Vortex, you had one. You had one last favorite thing you wanted to share.
This is just a picture and a description, and we got some comments here. But this is pretty much you're wondering where this is all headed. What's the end game here?
I
You know,
sure have.
where does this end?
I have been.
Let's
Yes, please.
show you
Yes,
Ruth. Ruth dances. Ruth's a pretty
please.
girl.
Okay. Tell me about it. Tell me about Ruth dancing.
I'm Jarek Uck. That's me. Yeah. Now, there may be some people who are a bit skeptical about a limbless, headless dancer. But even after the last picture of Ruth sitting so comfortably in her ballerina costume, and might think that the brief description underneath the picture was fanciful in its hint of a performance that Ruth might give once the music starts. So, this is a...
It looks like one of those enemies from Marble Madness.
It looks like a Silent Hill enemy.
Yeah. The thing that, the slinky that eats your marble.
Yeah. Like a like.
Yeah.
She'll eat your shield. Look out.
Except they're wearing like a yellow leotard.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just saw the first picture that he drew of her. Now it's distracting me, but
Yep, I know.
Yeah, the ballerina. Where it's the same torso, but in a tutu. Anyway, this is my favorite of all the costumes she wears during the show, which is a single yellow leotard that says "this way up," only it's an arrow pointing both directions.
Pointing both ways, yeah.
And it's my favorite routine, too. Someone, maybe Ruth herself, who knows, must have remarked on the fact that a limbless torso, with the head also gone, is almost vertically symmetrical. So
that's true, because shoulders and hips are the same thing.
When I'm done with them.
Someone wasn't me.
Would look pretty much the same whether she was right way up or upside down. There's a great routine in that. And
yep, because breasts are also, like, on your navel.
I took those off too, it's fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
Although, I think her costume has a vagina cut into it. I'm not sure what that slit is, that's fine. There's a great routine in that, and Ruth's got the moves, and a sense of humor. So it's all that's needed is to get the leotard made that's cut the same the top and the bottom. Only Ruth could possibly wear it, or make it work. The music starts up. It's Ottowan's 1979 hit, Disco! And she begins to rock from side to side, building up momentum, and remove a graceful punctuation to the bass-heavy beat. She sways and bounces, twists and hops. The vocals of the song come in, and the audience whoops in delight as they realize the words are subtly changed. She is torso! She is T, a torso. She is O, outstanding. She is R, remarkable. She is S, stupendous. She is O.
Oh, I hate it.
I love it. I fuck it. Ruth starts to
Surprised
twist.
it was a song parody all along.
Yeah.
Ruth starts to twist.
You didn't hate this enough, did you? Because here's Flick.
Bend herself further with every rock of her hips, her balance poised on the edge of disaster, only the constant movements keeping her upright, and then she flings herself backwards into a sinuous arch of movement, her hips leaving the ground a fraction of a second before the top of her torso hits the floor. Momentum carries her over, and suddenly she's standing on her torso top, her hips in the air, where her shoulder slopes were a moment ago, and she carries on dancing upside down. The audience goes wild, and Ruth
She's
continues.
a formless mass of skin. You can't tell top from bottom, and also it moves around.
It wiggles. The audience
dancing.
Go wild, and Ruth continues on with the routine, a sinuous little pillar of muscle, moving ecstatically to the disco pulse, every now and then flipping end to end as the music builds, but never missing a beat. It's kind of like if you just tossed a pillow, I guess, around, I don't know. There's an alternative version of this picture in my scrapbook, which reveals a bit more, as well as a couple of variations on a white background. Enjoy!
Oh boy, don't click that link.
Don't you click that one?
It's the same thing, except
didn't.
for just with nipples and
late.
pubes.
And there's a lot of comments.
Sure are a lot of comments. F+, what did we learn from any of this?
One thing that's happening here, I've seen it happen in other fetish communities, but I think there's literally 3 different fetishes. There's the people who are like into what real amputees look like that guy who loves his wife.
Yep.
And there's the people who want to be like fantastically weird body shapes, like whatever that thing we just read was.
Yeah. There's definitely
then there's,
some
like, the-
Cronenberg body horror shit going
Right.
on, for sure.
And then there's the super creeps who just really like seeing women who are in situations of dependency.
Yeah.
And like those are the worst. But like all of them can jerk off to the same image, so they all hang out together.
Message of unity, Frank.
It makes them come together.
We're having a group. Congratulations, DeviantArt.
There's something that has been going on forever in this stuff. It just weird fetish people in general. Like, it's almost insulting how they keep using words like fascinating, interesting. You know, I just think it's neat. Like, Really? Are you
they're
gonna
like obviously placeholder words?
Yeah, can you draw me like a lady that has all of her limbs in her head and her tits cut off? I just think it's neat. No, come on. Like, if you want to say, hey, draw my fetish shit, and they say no, that's fine. But I just think it's neat for some reason. It's just interesting. Cool.
I think there's a really weird juxtaposition, especially with this Ruth thing here, where you have this obviously dehumanizing, objectifying thing where you take a woman's body and literally just make her like a torso, nothing else. Yep. And yet this guy's really insistent that this is actually a really beautiful woman who's really talented and she's
feminist,
really
if you
deep.
think about it. It's like really feminist.
And they have all this lore for all of these characters that like they're trying to convince somebody that they're not seeing these as pieces of meat. And it's like, who are you trying to fool? Yourself?
It literally looks like a piece of meat.
Like the other pervs? Like, who are you doing this for?
You literally couldn't objectify a person.
It's like, maybe they're in denial, or it's just like, what's the lore for? It just is...
Yeah. I mean, my first drawing was I was trying to convince people that it was a literal just vagina with a USDA stamp on it.
That vagina has a backstory. That's a life and dreams.
It has 90 pages of backstory.
It deserves the job.
On the string change thing too, like with that guy, and as somebody that I like Bret Easton Ellis as a writer, but like if you want to like read Hunter S. Thompson and Bret Easton Ellis and Chuck Palahniuk, like go ahead. Also read something else.
Yeah.
It's not.
Like
don't let that be
stories?
Your diet. Don't let that be your entire diet, because it's fucking obvious from space that that's your entire diet.
It's so obvious from space, even the Amputee solar system can see it.
This is called Male Fit Planet. The website is always thefpl.us. Our website is, our something is Ball Pit. I'm like 3 beers in at this point. Anyway, Ball Pit's a place that you can go to, and we've got merch. By the time you hear this, I don't know exactly what kind of merch we have. There might still be some hoodies left. There might still be some passports. But yeah, get some of this merch because it's pretty cool. And I just like to do order fulfillment for like 3 hours every night. So put me to work.
Get an F+ hoodie for your limbless torso.
It's got the sleeves off.
It's got thumb holes, and it doesn't matter to you.
Folding into cars, white girls of the north, fire past 151. They are the fabled lambs of Sunday ham, the HS North.
Oh, wow, the doc actually has the removed comments from that thread with string change.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. That conversation goes on for a long time.
One guy says, "This is like I'm reading Time Cube or something like that. You have a brain problem." String change.
Oh, good. So it wasn't just us.